one of the key things you've mentioned in concerning marriage has been preparing one's self before marriage.
Mm.
You need to know yourself first and understand your likes before you know which partner will fit into. And I think one of those parts of preparing yourself is also understanding your health
Yes.
status, so that you know that, look, in my family, we have this kind of things. I'm prone to this. You look for a wife or a partner
Mm-hmm.
who understands that these challenges will probably most likely come, or if she also knows how to deal with such
That
situation. I
explains
think
that.
is it.
That explains that part. The Bible said both of them were naked and they were not
Yeah, you
ashamed.
mentioned that. You said
And people keep getting it wrong. It's
wrong.
not physical nakedness.
Mm.
That's not what he's talking about. That has nothing to do with getting clouded and unclouded. No, he's talking about transparency. All right?
Being open to each
Be
other.
open to each other. This is whom I am. I've never told anybody this. I'm about telling you now. That is not being ashamed.
Yeah.
This is whom I am. I have had cases of people telling people I mistakenly went to the hospital during blood transfusion. I don't know whether I've gone into the marriage teaching already.
Yes,
And
we have gone into the
yeah,
marriage
so
teaching.
the doctors mistakenly did whatever, whether in a quack chemist or whatever. HIV is not only transmitted through, I know
No.
it's sexually transmitted, but I've seen cases where people, because of strings or whatever situation it is, and they ended up with HIV. HIV, there are so many ways of contacting it. But open up to your neighbor or something. This is me. This is whom I am.
And this is who I am.
Okay, I've been going through this disease. It's not epileptic, it's this. This is what is going on in my life. If he really loves you, he can even help you to the hospital. I said, okay, I don't know what is going on with you, but I'll see you through.
Exactly.
All right? I'm not scared of this. All right? Look, I have kids. Nobody's aware. They are with my grandmother in the village, but I live in the city. I have 2 kids. Or I have this, or I have that. That is where the Bible said they were both ashamed. They were both naked, and they were not ashamed. They don't get that part. Look, I struggle with this. You could also let him know I have issue of lust. I don't know what it is. I've been going. And maybe he's not very strong in Christianity. This is where this Christianity thing, UP spirituality are talking about.
Yes.
I'm going to take it to my pastor if he's a reasonable one that can cancel. I don't know, but I don't know what is wrong with me. My temperamentality. You guys need to talk. Don't reduce marriage into just bed thing and you rush to the altar and you start having issues. Serious conversation. Look, I have a problem with anger. I don't know what to do, but in our place, they don't even have this.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
And there are stages you need to go through. Number 1, cultural stage or cultural shock.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Abdul Salam is from which state?
From Kaduna.
Kaduna. Married to maybe a lady or a man from Rivers or Imo Anambra. That will be cultural shock. Whether you want to believe it or not, these are 2 different cultures that are about coming together. So it might not really naturally be in the north. It could be even in Igbo land. They all have their different cultures.
Yeah.
But these are strangers. Are you prepared for that? Some people even marry whites, Caucasians.
Entirely
Marriage
different.
is something you need to prepare for the state. Look, I have had cases of people telling you born again. A born again person, pastor, marrying a young lady who's not very much, or vice versa. The lady
Is the
strong
born
here,
again, yeah.
marrying a man who's just a businessman,
Not
goes
really
to church
strong,
on
yeah.
Sunday and whatever. This is a young girl who has never, you are the first, has never met any man in
her
his or her life, and you are the first, and it's just trying to. That will be that cultural shock. A friend of mine told me after our wedding, my wife was so shy, she told me, excuse me, I want to remove my dress. And the husband said, we are married. He said, can you do this for me? Please leave. This is the stage.
Yeah.
You must respect it. There are people, the way they eat is different from yours.
True.
Because these are problems people go through in marriage. And
True.
that's why we're talking about beyond this 1 hour we spend. Come take time and learn further things. Last week, we had a tremendous program on Thursday. So I'm also using this opportunity to ask you, this is another week. I'm going to be around Save a Life Auditorium, 4 p.m. Make it a date with us.
On Thursday.
38 to Yo Street by Stadium Road. Come with your family. Come and learn. Because this is something you need to learn in order to improve. So the cultural stage brings cultural shock. I can't believe that this is what I'm seeing. You have to believe it now because it happens. This guy is coming from where they eat funny things. Sometimes people don't even realize it.
Yeah.
The manner they eat, the way they eat, the kind of things they eat.
They eat. Or maybe they eat communally. Everything is in one place.
Yes. And not just one, even the kind of things they eat.
Yeah.
How about she eats animals you don't eat? You haven't gone out with your wife. You say, I like that snake. And you're saying, don't say that again.
Not in this house.
You say, but I'm bringing it. I like it. It's my best meal. And you're like, are you kidding me
Not
right
in
now?
this house.
You say, and and you're like, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The
Yeah.
culture shock is there. People have different ways.
Yes.
There are places people don't kill snake.
True.
Culture shock. We don't look into these areas. We just say, come in. There are a friend said he married a lady. When she wants to do her loo, she said, we don't use this kind of stuff. It's in the bush. Even though we have it in our home, we have our funny cultures here and there. We have to respect both nasty ones, funny ones, until we get through that stage. Cultural shock is a stage in marriage which people don't remember. This guy is a religious person. This is what they do. The religion, everybody believes. When you mention religion, they mistake it to Christianity. Religion is not Christianity only. Religion includes those traditional religions.
Yes.
You went and married her. I believe I'm not just addressing Christians this morning. I'm addressing you said you liked him. So did you also find out the kind of religion he finds himself in?
Yeah.
He's in a religion that every day he pinks white. In their place, the snake can come into the house. You
And
only
he'll
pour
pet
powder. Pet it. Did you find out those details on you allow sex and romance to cover
To pull you to a
realities
marriage.
which are supposed to? Cultural shock is very important stage. After the cultural stage, you get into reality stage.
Cultural stage, then reality.
Cultural shock.
Shock.
You
Okay.
get into reality. That is, you have some lady said, I asked myself, what am I doing? So I can't believe this. Because she may have been a young lady that have been on herself. Everything has been me. She got it, all her life she has always lived.
By
Now,
herself.
I can't believe somebody is occupying my space. There are people that need their space. That her bed, if you see the way she organizes her bed, pink here, pillow here, all those
And all of a sudden, there's a man in the middle
not
of
just
it.
the man. She keeps her teddy bears, and they are so neatly kept.
He's
There
coming
is this
to
guy that is so
mess it up.
unkept. In fact, he sleeps with his books. And some men could be really behind. It comes in. That reality check is coming. He's here. He comes in. You are the type. Yes, I agree. You're married, but this is her first. Are you ready to tolerate it? And I say, even coming closer to you, yes, I love you, but I wish my space.
Tolerance.
Are you willing? We've gone beyond wiring now. Are you willing to give her a little bit of her that has space, and understand that this is her space where you are coming in, letting her, the Bible says, speaking the truth in love. You're telling her the truth that she's not married.
Yes.
We can't control her, but in love, knowing that where she's coming from. You ask for it, both of you come together. So that reality stage, all right, finding faults. Oh, come on, that the cause of our courtship. I didn't find this. What is going on? What is this about you? You didn't tell me this. It's a reality. If anybody tells you that he has a perfect marriage, re-examine him. Either there's one mumu following the other one, because there are challenges. People go through challenges. This is the period you begin to, if it's a rice, this is the period you begin to find stones. Doesn't matter how you washed it. The stones are showing up. All right? How are you going to tolerate it? Your tolerant level, your endurance is passing through all kinds of slanderous activities, calmly, sweetly, uncomplainingly, as if it weren't happening. I didn't know this aspect of you.
Existed.
There is no way those your 2 years, whatever, 3 years you say you be on. You see, it's different. It's just like people said visiting a country. Getting into the system of that country, a place like America or UK and the rest of them, that you visit, get into the mall and buy a few things and jump into the plane and come back to your country. It's different from when you get into the system. You're not a citizen of that country. They begin to check you up, and it's totally different. You begin to see a different thing altogether. That's what it is in marriage. When you're saying you're having boyfriend or whatever, but that's different. I love you, this and that. Both of you disappears into your oblivious corner and reclusive corner of life. But when you come together, reality will change. This person is not a part of you. I have seen cases where marriages didn't work because this person, he say, has mouth odor.
That's a problem.
I didn't see that. I've seen cases where this person said, I don't like the way she sleeps or he sleeps. I've seen, reality begins to come in because, okay, so that's what takes us to that reality can be finished instead to get into adjustment stage.
From reality to adjustment.
I have to face this. This is one person. I am not going to live with her for 5 years.
For
if
life.
God keeps us alive, we're going to be here we're going to do this for 70 years. Except, that's what people don't know. So what am I going to do? You talk to yourself. Look, I have to adjust this. But some people are not willing. No, I can't take this. Take what? You also realize this person, although he or she might not be talking, is also taking something from you.
Yeah.
So
they're tolerating something.
adjustment level is that tolerance. All right. I noticed that this person can't enter the bedroom without spilling water, soap, even to the back.
Like a dog took a bath.
Yes. This is the person I've come to marry. Adjustment stage comes with knowledge. Because you don't sit back and say, I'm adjusting. How do I help?
Yeah.
Now, where couples also make that mistake is trying to change your partner. You're going to have a problem. The marriage thing is not for you to change. Your life could influence. But, we make the mistake of, a friend of mine said on Facebook, he noticed that he was trying to promote his page. It was coming in dollars. He tried to change it into Naira. They banned him. They restricted him from it. It's always the case. Whenever we're trying to change this circuit, they have a word blowing.
Okay.
This person has a life, which she has lived all her life. You have yours.
So you came into their life.
Okay, so you are trying to make her to be quiet. She's been noisy. Why didn't you say it when you were cutting? If she's not the kind of person you wanted, why did you propose? You brought her into your life. You now want her. If she starts becoming quiet, she's pretending because this is not her nature. All right? If she on her own, because there are people, like I told you, where you act the way you act. They are choleric, sanguine, melancholies, phlegmatics. They're also a combination of traits.
Yes.
So you have to sit down and find out, whom did you marry? If this is the kind of person you married, all right, adjustment level. I'm going to adjust this aspect of my life. I'm the kind of person that goes out 12 midnight, I'm not back. There are men like that because they were trained
to just be there.
Just be there, with friends, drink. She doesn't like it. She's an introvert. She wants you back before 6 p.m. My friends, all right, choose between your friends
or your wife
and your woman. So what are you going to do?
Partner.
That is that adjustment and acceptance level. I've accepted the reality that certain things are going to change. There are guys that they bring in all their friends home.
Yes.
They rush into their kitchen. You forgot they are not married. So your friends will rush into your bedroom, rush into your kitchen, open up the pot. There are men like that. And you can't sit them down and say, guys, listen, we do this thing, those people, I cook very well, right? They said yes. You get into my kitchen, eat your right, do whatever you want to do, even plug your hands into my stew and eat. The woman is there now, okay? So that's a red line. You guys got to respect this boundary. I'm talking to you as my friend so that I don't have issue. I know my wife may not say it because it's not a talking tablet. You just have to see this. I shouldn't even be the ones reminding you guys of this, okay?
I'm married now.
This is the adjustment and acceptable level. But some men won't do it, all right? You now wait for people to start talking to your wife. That your wife self. I mean, it's preposterous and very disrespectful. I don't care who your friends are. To address your wife in that manner. You should have done the responsibility of doing
that
even before they start coming to the house.
Yes.
Why should you barge into your room? All right? So, cases even of, we've not gone into sister-in-law, brothers-in-laws.
Oh, yes.
All right. Woman, you are to know the kind of woman or man you marry.
And the kind of bonding.
Yes, you have. So, she needs her space. Needing her space may not necessarily mean on her part. I know she'll be responsible and reasonable enough. All right? Where does the issue of mommy comes in and daddy comes in? This is a woman that carried him for 9 months, did everything. Some of them even went out of their way, became sick to train their kids.
True.
A responsible lady will know, this 70-year-old, 60-year-old man, how long is she living? Why can't I be there? Give her a transition. Transition doesn't necessarily mean a smooth one that she enjoys the rest of her life forever. If this is the only thing I can do for my husband, that's part of love.
Yeah.
A friend is an extension of yourself, without which you are not complete. Can I do this for my husband? That's very important. Can I do this for my wife? These are things that people need to, under acceptance, under adjustment. I had wanted, just like to this marriage thing today. I had wanted us to look at hots and breaks. Because,
Hot?
Yeah, not like a topic. Most times people say I'm hotting in marriage. I just had a very breakdown, all right?
Yes.
When you lose the first relationship, somebody asked me just yesterday, is it advisable to jump into another?
The next month, yes. Or how long do you need to wait?
The guy came in. That question came yesterday. Somebody said, a lot of people listen to this program.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
A lot of people do listen to this program telling me. Somebody said, I needed to ask you this question because somebody came back in December. We've been relating for a couple of years that broke my heart and left. And some other person is talking to me just this February. What should I do? It's too close.
You broke up in November.
You broke up in December and you are about getting into relationship
In February.
in January, February. It's too close, sir. It's too close, man.
When should I? That's almost 1 month.
You need to heal.
What if I heal fast?
Well, wounds, physical wounds are not like emotional wounds.
Yeah.
There are some physical wounds with few cleaning, not even antibiotics. If you're in a good environment, if you keep the wound clean,
it will heal.
Under 1-2 weeks, they heal. Do you know some emotional wounds kiss people like 5 years?
Wow.
3 years. It's still, that's why when they marry, if you
Still
marry,
hurting.
I told you, if you marry somebody who is not healed, you'll be bleeding on the wrong person. I have seen somebody who broke up with Emeka and still calling Chinedu Emeka. So mistakenly, sometimes I say, Emeka, oh, sorry, Chinedu, sorry. It's still that transmission. Something is still there. Bottled emotion that was not taken. Morbid introspection. Right? Internal wounds here and there that was not addressed. They were not addressed. You didn't speak. Everybody covered it with the blood of Jesus. Move on.
And they
with
moved
your
on.
life. It doesn't matter. Men has come. Women has come. And no, certain things need to be, certain wounds.
Need to be.
You need to. Don't be scared of falling. Successful people are failures that didn't give up. I'll say it again.
Successful people?
They are failures that didn't give up. Marriage is between two imperfect people that have not given up on themselves. That is between two imperfect people that are working towards perfection. They have not given up on themselves. Don't be scared of fail. You see, most people who are afraid of trying, these are people who have not succeeded.
Have not succeeded. Okay.
Don't be scared of failing. I don't know. I don't want to marry. I don't want to. What I'm hearing. All right, you're not going to marry because you will hear more. There's a lot of mess being put there on internet. And don't forget this. Most of this life they live on internet is fake. And falsehood. You can't allow your life to revolve around this fakery. Cruise, that's what they call it. Those things are not real. Those people you are copying. Those things are not real. They don't, if you meet them in person, some of them are struggling inside, some of them are crying every midnight. You can't allow your life to be revolving around fakery, falsehood. You know, Eldorado. Life of infatuation. Things that are not real.
Not real.
Don't be scared of failing, all right? But when you fall, just like the lady who said she had a breakup.
Yes.
In December.
In December.
When you fall, I think you watch a boxing tournament. That guy rose up very fast. If you notice the second one, that one was pandemic. That one was, it was disastrous. The boxing tournament between I think Joshua.
Anthony Joshua.
Yes, and this other one. The second one nearly sent that guy to his early grave.
Nganano.
When you fall, take some oxygen. That's why I said January was early. Take some oxygen. The counting is 10, not 3. But when you're on the floor or canvas, if it's in boxing, land.
While there.
Yes, land. So that you are breaking up with Emeka. When Chinedu comes, he said, this is what land. What are you learning? He comes tomorrow. Look, I love you past my mother. Emeka told me this. You got it on the floor. All right?
It's something you learned while on the floor.
Make sure you pick things from the floor. I don't know how to describe you if you rise from that floor without learning. The floor has a way of giving you things. Like a phoenix, you're rising from the ashes. But before then, learn from the floor. It tells you, look, as you're seeing me now, if you can do this, I can do this for you. Learn. You could easily say, I picked it when I was on the floor. I know this type. I've had this line before.
I've heard this before.
This line, I've had it severally. Look, as I'm seeing you now, you are the angel. One angel. I'll tell God, one angel fell from heaven. You are that angel. You are the star of my morning. Sugar in my tea. Cockroach in my cupboard. Learning from the floor. I had it from Emeka. Take your time.
Emeka taught me well.
Yes. When you're on the floor, that's why I tell people. Don't be scared of failing. But when you fail, learn from it.
Learn.
Pick up something. When you fall, don't be in a hurry to rise.
When you fall, don't be in a hurry
to rise. Take your time to reflect. But don't overstay on the floor, number 2.
Don't overstay on the floor.
The counting is 10. I'm using boxing tournament.
Yes.
And wrestling. The counting
so
is 10.
don't stay there till 11.
Yes. The counting is 10, not 6, not even 8. Take your time. Figuratively, I'm teaching you now to take your time on the floor. What really happened? What really happened? This guy was everything I thought I wanted in a man or in a woman. I couldn't believe when we got to the village, everything was like, this is him. Learn from the floor. The Bible said when David came back and saw that the camp has been broken, by these Amalekites. They have gone behind him to destroy it. He wept. He wept and wept. Sometimes crying is detoxing. We know sometimes when
So
people
moving
want to cry.
toxins from the body.
Yes, when people are crying, we rush to them. Don't
Don't
cry.
cry.
What do you mean? Leave him. Leave her.
To cry.
Yes, sometimes you allow, during my counseling section, there are sometimes I'm talking to people, I see them crying, I will excuse them. I will leave the office for them. He or she needs that period.
To cry.
To cry. The Bible says he cried to the extent there was no even tears coming again. But when he started over crying, the people picked stone. Go and read your Bible. When he started over crying, that was when he now started generating. That's why I said, don't be in a hurry.
And don't stay there for too long.
And don't stay there, because when they noticed he was staying there too long, they started seeing it as a weakness.
Yes.
So the people picked stone. They were about stoning him. You can't overcry, but don't be ashamed
to cry.
of letting it out. Those things that are there, those because when we're talking about hypertension and the rest of it, is when you cloud it there and you're not letting it out. It's overwhelming you. Take out a night and cry it out. This is too much for a lady of 22, according to you, or 24, or whatever it is.
Oh,
and you are like, yes, at this age, you lost your dad or lost your mom. Now you thought you have gotten it. Look at what this guy have done to you. I can't even believe it. And I ran to this person thinking I was going to get help. He helped me more. Take time and detox. That's the first stage. Take time. Don't be scared that you're on the floor. You're not the first. That's the funny thing. A lot of people give the impression you're not the first. Cry, but don't overcry.
Okay.
It gives you that mind to know that, look.
How do I know that I'm not overcrying?
You're overcrying. Like I told somebody recently, I said, your dad died and your mom and stuff. You needed to find out things. You cried to the extent that you didn't even know they left a will or an administrator of an estate. You are busy crying. He didn't even reason that there are things they're supposed to do until relatives made away with. I'm just giving a figurative example of that. As much as you're crying, possibly cry with one eye and leave the other one open. So they'll be able to know what is happening. How can you cry to the extent you didn't know you're losing viable properties? Things you're supposed to go get and put in order, you're busy crying. And unfortunately, some people who come, just like we have lost our humanity. I hope you know that. You know what happened recently when I watched this family that lost their loved one in an aircraft and stuff. You see people come there. Some people come to catch cruise.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Some even come to politics.
Yeah.
And so if you think, just like we keep saying every day, go check up your health. When I die, I'm sure people will
come and catch cruise.
People will catch cruise and move on with their lives. This is why you need to live. If you don't want to live for yourself, live for your family.
Live for your family. Live for your family.
People, you just be thinking with this kind of thing. You see people telling you culture. I look at those kids and I'm like, oh God. You still see people criticizing them. Oh, why did you stand up to greet, sit down to this? Somebody just lost the parents.
And brother.
Where is our humanity? You still see some people telling you, oh, this person should have done this. That person should have done this. I'm sure in that program, you still see people telling you, I'm very sad. What is it? They didn't give me enough rice. Well, where is our humanity? This is somebody's, not just parents who lost their life at the prime of their life.
Their lives.
And you are wondering where these ones are going to be going from here. And you see somebody telling you, I don't like how many meats that was given to me. Like, how can you give me one portion of meat?
The applause was not loud enough.
Where is our humanity? I don't want to go into that. So families should understand you're being together. A healthy family is a healthy society. All right? So when you hear that there is advent of cultism and all manner of things in the society, this is where there is dysfunctional family. And it's important for us to know that if you get it right, there are so many things that comes out of a very healthy and productive family. It affects the education of a child. Look, I have seen cases in schools. Even though some teachers are not psychologically balanced enough to know this, you see a child in the class that is withdrawn. The next thing, a teacher who doesn't know about multiple intelligence, who doesn't know about set induction in teaching, who doesn't know about gamification and all kinds of methods of, especially modern day ways of teaching. Pick up a cane. I'm asking questions and you're not answering. Tom!
Hey.
Pull that child by the side. I've had a very, good example, and the child opened up. Why is it that I'm teaching everything in class? You can never participate. Said, every time my dad is beating my mom, he didn't answer anything about that class. Just put it that way. You wouldn't know your action is affecting the education of your child. He becomes a withdrawn child. Each time he closes his eyes, he sees the mom crying and falling. And that's affecting him, his test, his exam. And you see that child coming up aggressive, beating other students in class.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is this coming from? He will not talk to anybody. He's withdrawn. You call him stubborn. You call him names. Instead of helping to withdraw him from wherever he is, you start calling him names.
Just pushes him
Just
further into
pushing
that.
him further into that pit. So you wouldn't know the action between you and that lady you call your wife or you call your husband is affecting another generation. You're raising up another generation
That'll
of
carry on
angry
with that.
people.
Yeah.
All right? It becomes a generational curse, if not anger or vituperation. You see a child that is so angry, the way he talks to people, and you're wondering.
And that's why you have some people say, in our house with a quick vex.
I'm angry.
So you big
in our generation, go and ask, yes, we kind of
we say that.
put it into perspective. My brother used to be angry, my mother used to be angry. Don't try me, I will maim you. And the languages that comes up, that's why I talked about cultural shock. Imagine this person now, a very innocent young lady that was trained by the parents,
filled with love all
around her, going to marry this kind of person who was raised by angry parents, who always fighting, watch them fight. And this poor girl didn't know, because during courtship, she was deceived into believing everything is butter, bread. And she gets in there. The kind of language that will be coming from. When you see people speak, you know where they're coming from.
Let me just quickly post this here and let people know that, there's so much to learn from this. On Thursdays, there is a meeting at the Civil Life Auditorium. It's at 38 Uyo Street off Stadium Road. We can't get as much as we want in 1 hour, but then at 4 p.m. on Thursdays, you can have enough time to have conversations and interact with Barrister Austin Nnaji. Of course, you can ask questions that are unique to you. But I'm going to offer that opportunity again to ask questions on the show this morning. It's imperative that we can at least address one or two issues that you may have. I think if you notice, the kind of areas that we touched today is one almost all of us are particularly familiar with when it comes to culture shock. Sometimes it's not even in a marriage. Just with somebody else and understanding that person's life, where they're coming from, might be a shock to you. Imagine what happens when it's a marriage. He also spoke about reality. After the culture shock, now you now realize this is what you have to deal with for the next 70 or so years. And then the adjustment, the time to adjust. What is it that you need to do to ensure that that moves forward? The numbers to dial, of course, ask any of your questions, 081 8081 87 888 889. I'll call that number again, 081 87 888 889. And then you can also dial 091 6000 8890. 091 6000 8890. For WhatsApp and SMS only, 091 6000 8898. That's 091 6000 8898. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I can't hear you, so I've got to let you go. Please try again if you can get through. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I lost that connection. Please try again. 081 87 888 889 or 091 6000 8890. If your calls can't go through, you can send an SMS or a WhatsApp, and you can send it to 091 6000 8898. That's 091 6000 8898. You can send your SMSs or WhatsApp to that number, and I will try my best to quickly read that. Hello. Hello. All right, I can't seem to make out the calls. Must have a problem with that, or maybe it will be coming from the network provider. Hello. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Chidebere, calling you from Port Harcourt.
Okay,
Abuloma beside me.
Chidebere from Abuloma. Good to have you. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, I want to ask No, I understood you. When you are having a relation, you have a relationship, but the lady you have already gone up to 3 years in relationship with, well, according to what they say. But small time the lady you are into will pick offense, small thing you will pick offense, small thing you will pick offense. To the extent you will get a point, he will tell you, it's okay, I'm not doing again. You will go after 3 to 4 months again, you come back to your life again, where you are trying to forget about the relationship. You try to come back into the relationship. What I want to find out, is there a relationship that both of you are into courtship, you can break up within 1 year, both of you can say, okay, we are real our mistake, we can come back. I want to find out for that.
There's nothing wrong in breaking a courtship. A broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. Even a night to what you call marriage. It's better courtship is broken than marriage. There's nothing wrong with it. I try to understand yourself. We placed it in stages. The cultural stage, the reality stage, which Annie just explained to you, an adjustment stage. Marriage is not for kids. It calls for endurance. But what you asked of, are there possibilities of people putting up space to get to understand themselves well? Well, if you've been following this program, I even put it from the legal point of view. If you go to a magistrate court now and ask them that you want a divorce, no judge or magistrate will listen to you. They'll first of all ask you to go back home.
Let's take this call. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Yes, please.
Good morning to the guest in your studio.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name. What is it?
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, where we call mile 4.
Okay, understood. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is, if you have a wife, after all the long years of relationship and you got married to a wife and you have a business with that wife, you open a business for her, and the business is moving, she still expects you to be buying some clothes, clothing while her business is moving, and you are the man of the house, taking care of the house and paying school fees and other things. And this thing has been causing a lot of problems. What do you think about it? That is my question.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
They are like taking us back to some of the things we've learned in the past. We told you how women are wired. All right? A woman, it doesn't matter whatever you give a woman, there is still expectancy.
Of course.
They're wired from emotions.
You still have to bring something.
Yes, this is it. And I think Dr. Koya have said this. God forbid if you're waiting to it. Well, let me correct what.
But he said.
I forgot the
the first person.
Yes, I said when you get to a magistrate court and ask for a divorce, the lawyer will simply ask you. The judge. The magistrate will ask you to go home. We call it decree nisi. Decree nisi means go home and reason over this for 2 years. As the law says, or the act establishing marriage says 2 years. Because he believed that at the course of those 2 years, both of you might come back. It might be temporal separation. It might be just, something minor that is putting you apart. After 2 years, but I've seen several cases where within 2 years, he had a woman got pregnant. And you carry the pregnancy back to the court.
Come on, go back.
Pursue you. Come and get out of my court.
Come on, go back.
How can you be telling me you're quarreling and you got pregnant? That ends it. You will just throw away the case. But if he comes back and notice that there is this irreconcilable difference, he will now issue what we call decree absolute. That's when you begin to talk about alimony, how you settle the children. It's not the court that will do it. But within the 2 years, there's something we call ADR, alternative to dispute resolution. He will ask you, go and use any of these courthouses. It's not like a court that is decide or say how you settle, get your priest. The judge can tell you that whatever your priest or friends talked about, the judge will adopt it as their judgment. They've spoken to themselves to do this and do that. So issue of separation, both from the Bible and from the legal aspect of it, even the Bible says God hates divorce. So that's why before you get into it, you should be able to learn. Because that gentleman is talking about, is it possible of staying apart?
She said he goes and she comes back. So, she goes and she comes back.
Yeah, so if there are situations like that, endurance is there, patience. So I think we've been able to handle these things about love and rebel. For this gentleman, you need to understand how women are wired. We've talked about that women are wired by emotion, men are more logistic in nature. So if you understand the person you are married to, all right, and the issue of trust, all right, where there is this deficiency of trust, it's also a problem.
It's also a problem.
Okay, trust and communication. I've talked about this. Communication. Marriage is never going to be healthy where this are lacking. Okay, trust. You should be able to trust your partner. Most times people don't look into this area. The person that is doing business with you might be doing some other business. We talked about a snake. The
Yes,
snake factor
the
that
snake
was
factor, yeah.
talking to
Eve.
Eve. Who is the snake talking to you? The person might even have a snake. Well, what we mean a snake is not, looking at it from another perspective, that snake might be another business partner telling you that, look, you got to have your own business in case. If your marriage has an in case, then you have a little problem because God, sorry, in case means in case this marriage breaks, I'll have something to sustain myself. So trust issue is there because there are so many women that have that in case principle. I don't know what this guy is doing, but there are
But
possibilities.
let me, yes,
Yeah,
in
there are
case.
possibility that if he do this, I will use this money to be holding myself and so on and so forth. But that's not how God has placed marriage. It's going to be. We started today by talking about both of them being naked
And
they were
open
not,
to each
and they
other.
were not ashamed. You
Yeah.
have to be open to each other. There has to be that level of trust. There has to be that level of openness and reflection to be able to trust your partner with your business or whatever. So I think that's this deficiency of trust among them. Yeah.
All right. I think one of the things that you did mention at the course of the conversations in the past was understanding the wiring of a woman. And let me just quickly chip in here as a woman that even if you opened a store for her, she's still going to expect some things on some days from him. So it's not necessarily everything. I think maybe where he will have a problem is if she wants him to purchase everything for her.
There are supportive wives. Okay, so the originally, when he said the woman is going to be an helpmate, I said it's not going to be a co-debater. I used faulted. He's not a director, not a co-debater, not a fellow argumentative personality. All right.
Yeah.
If there are some women on their own decide to support you. Now, what do you call support? We've also established here when people say, "What are you bringing on the table?" That's so many men will ask a woman, "You don't have a table to start with, and you're asking for
what's she bringing on the table?
You don't even have a table. You don't have a vision. Submission is when you have a mission. The woman will not submit to that.
To that
you
mission.
are the priest of the house. Give her a direction. Be that priest. Be that king that your subject will come. The woman is confused. She's even scared. She doesn't know where you're going as far as she's concerned. She can't. A vision is a mental picture of the future.